Hello everybody! Thank you so much for joining me for another Planty video. Today I'm going to be doing my monthly Planty update highlight walkthrough video. So this is a series that I do every month where I show you all of the fun things that are currently happening in my collection, new leaves, new plant setups, blooms, anything like that. This is of course always one of my favorite videos to make because I just love walking around and talking about my plants and showing them to you. So grab yourself a cozy beverage. We are going to start in my bedroom as usual. I think I'm going to start right here with this plant shelf area. So most of the plants here have actually been doing really well and giving me some new growth. The one I'm probably the most excited about is my Philodendron SP Silver, which is this gorgeous gal right here. There's one of her leaves. The biggest one is over here. She's quite big and she kind of sprawls out quite a bit. I am going to have to rearrange these plants soon because they're just kind of growing out of control a little bit, if I'm honest. But this plant, the SP Silver, was pretty much dormant for me the whole winter. It didn't do anything. And now I am finally getting a new leaf. So I'm just really happy to see this. I can't wait to see what it's going to look like. I have no idea how big it's going to be or anything like that. It hasn't emerged very much yet. But yeah, I'm just so excited that it's waking up and growing. So I'm just glad that this plant is okay because it went for so long without growing. So I'm definitely keeping my eye on this leaf and I just can't wait to see it. The new leaf on my Philodendron Majestic has also emerged. This is one of my all-time favorite philodendrons, the Majestic. It is just so gorgeous. Now the new leaf came out quite small, but it does look really nice. Like there's no damage or anything. The silver is really pretty, so I am quite happy with it. I think I am going to extend this thickly pole pretty soon. You can see there's some larger Majestic leaves down here, and then this was a new one, and then that's the other new one right there. It's still kind of hardening off. It's one that I do want to grow out more for sure, so I will be extending that pole, and I just am really looking forward to the new growth that continues after this. We of course have another new leaf on my Philodendron Narrow because this plant is always growing for me. Ficus shiveriana is still growing as well. This new leaf kind of got stuck unfurling, so it's a little ripped on the sides, but we already have a new leaf that's starting to come in, so I'm not too worried. I have a hard time with ficus, so I'm just trying my best with this one. Not a great update right here. My Aglaonema Manila's Pride actually rotted, so I had to chop off all the roots. I think it's gonna propagate pretty easily. Like there's already the beginnings of new roots starting, so I'm not too worried about it, but yeah, that's why it's just chilling there in water. I was suspecting rot because some of the leaves were yellowing and the whole plant was just kind of droopy, as you can see. So I checked the roots and sure enough they were rotted, which is unfortunate because this was like a new plant and it was also a wish list plant, but I have faith that it's going to be okay. Speaking of roots, my varicosum cuttings are doing pretty well here. You can see some roots in there. So satisfying. My Philodendron serpens is living down here and it seems to be doing quite well. I've heard that these prefer cooler temperatures, which is why I put it on the floor, and I swapped spots with the Philodendron SP Silver. That one used to be on the ground, but I switched them because, like I said, this one prefers a cooler temperature, so I thought it would do fine down here because it definitely is cooler, like being on the floor. And I've actually got some air layering happening with this because I am going to be chopping it up, so I'm really looking forward to that project. I don't really see any roots yet, but I'm sure that they will come, hopefully. Another one of my plants waking up for spring is the Alocasia Micholitziana. This is a new leaf. This is the only new leaf I've gotten this year so far, but it looks really nice and healthy, so I'm feeling good about that, and I'm looking forward to more new leaves as we get closer to spring here. Beside that, we have my staghorn fern, which I have just hanging on the wood plank there. This used to live in my kitchen, but it's quite dark in there, so I decided to move it out here so that it could be under my Soultech light and benefit from that. And it really has been. It's totally perked up. It's looking so much better. There's even new growth that's starting to happen, so it's doing really, really well here, which I'm thankful for. This plant does hold sentimental value to me. It was, you know, one of the plants that I got within my probably first year of collecting plants. I mounted on the cork myself, and I just think it's really beautiful as like a plant display piece. So yeah, it's just kind of rehabbing here under the bright light. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about my Soultech light because they were kind enough to sponsor this video. So a huge thank you to them. I appreciate that so much. And this light is genuinely one of my favorite things in my whole Planty setup. So it's very easy for me to talk about it to you guys. So this is the large aspect light, obviously in the black color. It also comes in white, and I installed this in, I believe, June of last year. So I've had it for a good while now. I actually made a whole video setting it up and like setting up, rearranging this whole planty area. So I'll link that video down below because I talk more about like the specifics of the light, and you can watch me installing it and everything. I'll link that down below. But in this video, I just kind of wanted to let you know how the plants are doing. The results definitely speak for themselves. Not only do my plants absolutely love this light, but I freaking love it. Like, it looks so good, and it allows me so much more freedom with my plant setup. Like, having a pendant light shining down allows me to utilize a shelf like this, utilize the top shelf, and the light reaches down pretty far as well. So I have a lot of plants benefiting from this. It really has been just incredible, and I'm so happy with it. They also have different types and like styles of lights on their website as well. If you're looking for something a little bit different, you can just get bulbs as well and then put it into something like that, like any regular lamp. Or they have a track system that you can mount on your ceiling, which I'm honestly dying to get. When I move out into a house, you guys, like, I'll be getting so many more Soultech lights. I just don't have the space in this place, sadly, which is why I just have the one. But yeah, anyways, I've got a lot of planty interior things floating around in my head for whenever I move, which I don't know when it's going to be. I know people are asking, and I honestly have no idea. I'm gonna have the link to check out Soultech down below in the description box, so don't forget to check that out. And my discount code WILDFERN is still active with them. You can get 15% off of anything on the website, and I do make a small commission from that, so you're also helping out my channel, and I really appreciate it. So don't forget to check them out if you're interested. Their products are top tier. Anyways, so obviously you can see that the light is relatively close to the top shelf here. So plants that I really want to get a high dose of light, I will put up here. So I have my Hoya Willeniana, which she doesn't need to be up here, but she does sun stress beautifully under this light. As you can see, she has beautiful purple sun stressing. So that's why I like to have her so close to this light. And then I also have, of course, my Euphorbia white. Oh my gosh, is it growing? Stop it. Stop it. Okay, just one sec. Let me grab it. Oh my gosh. I think that it's growing. Do you guys see that? Something's happening at the top there, at the very tip. Oh my gosh. I think something is finally happening. I have had this plant for almost 2 years now, like over a year and a half, and it didn't grow. Okay, I almost knocked everything down. Anyways, I was just gonna say, I've had this Euphorbia White Ghost for almost 2 years now, and it has never grown for me. Like, not even a hint of new growth, even living in a south-facing window. So I decided to pop it here, right under my Soultech, and it's literally starting to grow, and I cannot, oh my gosh. It honestly makes me emotional because I would just love to have this plant grow. Wow, that is so cool. Okay, anyways, I also have some propagations happening here. This is actually a project I'm working on, like for a video. I cut up my Philodendron Florida Beauty, my Monstera obliqua, and my Variegated Adansonii, and they're mostly wet sticks in here, and I really wanted them to have like the best shot at growing, so that's why they're up here getting a lot of light. Some more cuttings rooting on top of there as well. And then on the second shelf, we have my Monstera aurea, which is yellow variegated Monstera deliciosa. Maybe I'll grab it and show you. This is what it's looking like. So this is a fresh leaf, and the really cool thing about Monstera aurea is not only is it yellow variegation, which is just like different and fun, but it's also Polaroid variegation, so you can't really see it when the leaf first comes out, and then it develops over time. So mine isn't fully developed yet, but you can see it coming out and you can tell where it's going to be, so it's really fun to watch. It honestly makes me like the Monstera aurea so much more. I just think that that's so cool. It makes the whole process of new leaves that much more exciting. So yeah, I've heard that to get like a really nice yellow on these, they do need a lot of light, which is why I have it on the second shelf here, because you can see it's also like pretty close to that bulb. So very excited about this one. And then I also have my variegated Thanksgiving cactus cuttings that I was showing you guys in my last video. I have those on this shelf as well because, again, I just wanted them to have a lot of light while they're rooting and everything. And they have been very happy there. Also have some other Hoya that are just back here. I honestly just try to cram as many plants as I can on this shelf to get the good light, because this area doesn't really get a ton of natural light. Like, this is west that way. So sometimes at the end of the day, some light will come over to this shelf, but it's really not very much, and that only happens at certain times of the year. So these plants are very grow light dependent on this shelf. Of course, we have my Monstera Thai Constellation on here as well, which I have recently made a whole video updating you guys on, so I won't talk too much about this one. But yeah, wow, I love it so much, and I'm so glad it's starting to grow. Even my Monstera alba over here benefits from that light, which is really nice. Also the Frydek too. Yeah, I've just had such a positive experience, and like I said, I cannot wait to grab more Soultech lights in the future. Okay, and then what else can I update you guys on? You've recently seen my Glorious. I've been obsessed with it lately, but we showed that in my last video as well, so I won't go on about that one, but yeah, stunning. My Hoya Calistophylla, where did that come from? That's so random. I don't even have one of those. My Hoya Multiflora, I think it's doing better. I think that I've got the mealies under control on that plant, but I'm still having mealy issues on multiple plants in this room. Like, not really badly, but they'll pop up and I'll have to remove them. And I actually went ahead and ordered some green lacewings the other day, which I've never used beneficial insects before, so I'm very interested to see how that goes. I've had so many people commenting and like messaging me and saying that that's the way to go and it's gonna make my life so much easier. So I'm trying it out. We'll see how it goes, and yeah, you guys will be hearing about it. My Anthurium viridifolium snuck out a new leaf on me. I have no idea how it does that. Like, I won't even see it coming in, and then suddenly there will just be like a fully developed leaf. It is just crazy, and this plant gets neglected so much. I used to think that Anthurium viridifolium needed really high humidity, but it honestly doesn't, you guys. Like, it is above the freaking heat vent, and it dries out, and it gets underwatered, and I honestly neglect it, and it grows so well. So yeah, it's just crazy. I wouldn't say it's as forgiving as my Pallidiflorum, but it's still just a lot easier than I had like made it out to be in my head. So yeah, it's got a few long leaves on it now, which is really nice. I also have a bunch of propagations going currently of Anthurium viridifolium, kind of scattered around my home right now from my other one. So hopefully one day I'll have like a really big pot of it. We do have some new growth happening on my Polynera as well, which is so cute. It's going towards the window, and oh my goodness, the window must be so cold right now. It's actually not bad, and it's been snowing outside. Look at the snow in my garden pots. Yeah, I guess these windows are pretty good. Like, they don't really let a lot of the cold in. They're very new. This place is only like a year and a half old, so that's probably why. My propagations are doing so well for my Hoya linearis and my Hoya Mathilde. It's funny because a lot of people were telling me that my Hoya Mathilde was gonna bloom when I was propagating it, and there's so many peduncles that honestly look juicy. Like, they look like they could bloom. So I'll be really curious to see if that happens because I've never had a bloom on it. It would just be ironic if my first Mathilde bloom was on the cuttings rather than on the full plant that I have. Oh, also an update on the new growth on my silver dollar vine. Look how cute that is. I love it. And then of course my variegated Thanksgiving cactus. You guys have been seeing this a lot because, oh my gosh, it literally gets closer to opening every time I look at it. I think that it might be pink too. Like, the closer it gets to opening, the more pink it gets. Oh my gosh. I think it actually will be like a white with pink, maybe. It looks really white. I don't know. It's so hard to tell, but it does look like quite pink in person. So, oh my goodness, that would be incredible. Maybe it'll open tomorrow, you guys. Oh my gosh. It literally looks like it's like gets closer by the second. Like, that little petal or whatever was not sticking up a moment ago. Okay, I'm gonna put it down. I have a sentimental past with Thanksgiving cactus and with the blooms. They're part of the reason I fell in love with houseplants. One of my first plants was a Thanksgiving cactus. Probably honestly my second plant, because it would have been after Greta, my Marble Queen Pothos. Anyways, so I do get pretty excited about the blooms, and they're just phenomenal. Okay, and then over here is my lovely Monstera Albo, the top cut. Doing really well. We repotted this in my last plant chores video into terracotta, which looks stunning. I love it so much. I love everything about this, like the way it looks, it's just gorgeous, and it is still working on the new leaf, of course. Looks like the variegation's gonna be pretty good on that. It's definitely taking its time, but when you consider that it's adapting to a new pot, I transferred it from sphagnum moss to soil, so that happened, as well as pushing out a new leaf at the same time. I'm just letting her take her time, you know? But yeah, she's looking amazing and doing well still. Oh my gosh, I just realized in the intro I was going to mention that I had a few new plants to show you guys, and I just realized I don't think I even mentioned it. So surprise, I have a few new plants to show you in this video. I actually recently did a plant shopping and plant supply shopping video on my Patreon. I loved filming that video and I was really happy with the way it came out. I got a lot of like fun cover pots and new potting mix stuff, and I found 3 new plants. So you'll see those in today's video, and I'm going to show you one right now. So this is both a new pot and a new plant that I got, and I was so excited to find this plant, you guys, because I don't know, I guess I've been living under a rock and I had never heard of it before, but this is a streptocarpus, and it's a fuzzy foliage plant, which is the reason that I was initially drawn to it, because I had just never seen anything like it before, and I loved the texture, and the leaves can actually get pretty big. But yeah, it's fuzzy. Can you hear that? It's like covered in like a peach fuzz. Oh my goodness, it's so satisfying. Anyways, I saw this in the store and I was like, what the heck is this? Like, I have never seen this before or heard of this before, but this is actually a flowering plant. So once I found that out, I was like, even better. Because you guys know I love my blooms. So these are actually related to African violets, but the blooms that they put out are like taller and bigger, and they can produce like pretty big foliage. So yeah, even without the blooms, I just really like the way that it looks, and it's honestly like pretty different from anything else that I have in my collection. So it was just fun to find something like completely new to me, something for me to learn about, and I did. I've watched a few videos about them already, and I'm just really excited to grow it and learn about it. The plant shop I bought this from was really great, and the lady told me that she had just started feeding them, and last year they bloomed until November. So they're known for having a quite long bloom cycle, which is amazing. Like if they bloom from spring to November, that's quite impressive. And this one is apparently going to have blue and yellow flowers. So I'm just so thrilled about it. Hoping it does well, because yeah, like I said, they're new to me. I'm still learning about it. But yeah, I was just really excited to show you guys this one. Like, how cute. And I love the pot as well. I don't know if it's going to be staying there. I just kind of put it there for now. Okay, most notably over here, what I wanted to talk about is my Hoya Shepherdii. It's actually been growing a lot. This is a new leaf that has recently come out. Look how long it is. And then this is another one that is still expanding. So cute. And it actually is going to have multiple blooms. That's the progress on the peduncle right there. And then on the lower one right there. Like, how cute. And yeah, there's just a lot of new growth happening in different spots on this plant. It tends to do really well in the springtime. It bloomed last spring for me as well, so really excited for it to, oh my goodness, another little baby new growth right there. Yeah, really excited for it to grow some more this spring and bloom for me again. It's so fun. And I especially love when Hoyas have multiple blooms, like multiple active peduncles on them at once. It's just so gorgeous. So really excited for when those flower. Everyone else on here still doing well. Not anything too crazy happening. So I'll just breeze by them. Oh yes, this is another new plant that I have to show you guys. So I was mentioning in my video where I reviewed online plant articles and kind of reacted to them, I was mentioning that I've always wanted an asparagus fern, but I had never gotten one before. So in that plant shopping video I was talking about, I found asparagus ferns, and oh my goodness, I had to pick one up. This is also a new pot, and look how cute this is. I'm obsessed with this whole little setup, and this also doubles as like a little like bedside lamp for me. So yeah, I'm just loving it. It's so cute. It's obviously going to outgrow this at some point, but for now I'm just enjoying having it here. It literally feels like a cloud. It is so soft, and yeah, I'm honestly obsessed with it. So yeah, that's another one of my new plants, and I'm just thrilled about this whole little setup. Oh my goodness, look at that new little growth coming in right there. How cute. I actually zip tied the cord to the back of this little stand thing so that it looks more clean, because it was kind of like hanging sideways before, and yeah, I'm just really happy with how this turned out. Love this whole cozy little area, of course. Alright, so we're gonna move into the living room. I don't think I have as many updates out here, not in this section at least, so yeah, let's see what is happening. First of all, we have my Calathea Warshawixii. This new leaf is almost fully emerged, and it looks great. It's in really good condition. It's super soft, and I'm just so happy whenever this plant grows, because I struggle with it, and I really want a big one. It's kind of leaning a bit. I should repot this spring maybe. But in my most recent plant tour video, this plant was curling up, and I was wondering what was up with that. A lot of people commented that it was because it was getting direct sunlight, and I think that that is why. This plant has gotten a little bit of sunlight before. I mean, I would never like want to scorch this, but it has gotten a little bit of sunlight before, and it's never done that. But I think just because it's been the winter and it's so acclimated to just gloomy weather that when the sun was out that day on it, it was just like, no thank you. But yeah, the leaves did uncurl and it seems really happy again, so I'm thankful for that. What else? My Philodendron gloriosum is doing pretty good up here. It's really starting to like turn towards the window to face the light. And we have this new growth point that's literally growing out of the pot here. Some of my Amelia medium cuttings are starting to root. Oh my goodness, I need to refill the water. Look, the water is down here and the root's up there. That is not good. I will be doing that right after I'm done filming. I think my other cuttings are doing pretty well also. My Tenanthe cuttings are all starting to root. Oh my gosh, look at that. Wow. These propagate so well. Like honestly, wow, impressive. Okay, yeah, pretty much ready to be potted up, honestly. And then nothing really too crazy happening with my plants along the windowsill. I did recently get a cutting of variegated hornia. You can see beside my like potted hornia. I got that along with my variegated Christmas or Thanksgiving cactus cuttings. I also got that one, so I'm gonna end up potting that with the other one as well. I just want to let it root and everything, but I'm happy to have another one of those because I love that variegated hornia so much. Painted Lady here seems to be doing a little bit better after her repot and after moving her closer to the window. Not sure which one of those has helped the most, but yeah, she's working on a new leaf here. This is the last one hardened off, and it looks pretty good, honestly, like not too bad. And she also is working on a new leaf down here on the lower vine. And then on here, not anything too crazy happening. We do have this new growth coming in on my Black Pagoda lipstick plant. Doesn't look amazing. I don't know, I wasn't happy where it was before, and now here I think it might be getting a little bit too much light, but yeah, I'm gonna have to find a better place for it. Maybe I can put it on my bed frame actually. It might be happy there. Oh my goodness, and it looks like I am finally getting another new leaf on my Alocasia Maharani. I don't know why I always forget the name for this one, but you can see it starting right there. How cute! That's very exciting. I'm very into Alocasia lately. And then of course you guys have seen recently my beautiful Philodendron El Choco Red new leaf. It is looking amazing and is huge. Same with my Philodendron Billietier. The leaf is huge. It's actually 17 inches. I just measured it recently, so yeah, doing very well. And we also have a new leaf on my Philodendron Splendid on the bigger vine. That is still hardening off, but it's just really nice whenever this plant gives me a new leaf, just to know that it's establishing itself and growing and everything. So yeah, he's looking great. I know the lighting is kind of shite in here right now. Like I said, it's been like snowing for the past week or so, which is really frustrating, but yeah, it's very dark in here when the weather is like that. Anyways, my Philodendron Tortum is working on a new leaf. This looks pretty big, actually. I'd been posting this on my Instagram for a while on my Instagram story to show like the progress of it unfurling, because these just look so crazy before they start unfurling. I mean, even as they're unfurling, like it still just looks wild. So yeah, really cool. One of my favorite plants to watch new leaves come in on. And he's really starting to like grow up his bamboo stake. Like, honestly, that plant's getting pretty big. Plant wall is doing lovely, of course. I recently untangled my philodendron lemon lime. I didn't know that it was tangled, but apparently these vines were like just all caught up in there. So I let them come down and yeah, look how long it is. It is just crazy. I'm probably gonna have to trim it. Same with the Syndapsis. I have it kind of hooked onto the wall over here because yeah, the vine is just so long. You can see all the new leaves pointing up at the top. So cute. In the cabinet, we have a new leaf on my philodendron brantianum that's recently unfurled. Well, it's still kind of working on unfurling and hardening and everything, but yeah, this has reached the top, so I'm gonna have to decide whether I'm gonna chop or extend. I think I'm just gonna chop this, propagate, and then add it back into the bottom because I want this to be a little bit more full. There's only actually, is it 2 vines? I think there might be 3. I think there's 3 vines in here right now, but I'd like it to be a little bit more bushy, so I'll probably just end up chopping and propagating. And these have always propagated really easily for me, which is nice. This is what my little baby forgetti-eye leaf ended up looking like. Oh my goodness, it is so cute. I love forgetti-eye so much. I'm also starting to get just a hint of sun stressing on my Hoya New Guinea Ghost. If you can see, there's like a hint of purple on this leaf in particular. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but I can see it with my eyes and it's very satisfying. This one is thirsty, so it's a little bit wrinkly. New leaf on my Ring of Fire is starting to unfurl also. I cannot wait to see that. And other than that, nothing too crazy happening. We do have a couple of new leaves and pictures coming in on both of my Nepenthes. This is the Glandulifera, and this is the Fusca, and that's the new leaf and picture coming in over there on that guy. That's pretty much it for in there. Alright, now we're at my Millsbow Tall, and I actually just grabbed a plant down from on top there, and it is another new plant that I got. It is actually an orchid, a mini orchid to be specific, and it has these cutie, like little purpley pink blooms. So this is the 3rd new plant that I picked up, and if you watched my wishlist video, then you would know that I really wanted to try out an orchid this year, like an actual Phalaenopsis orchid, and I went for the mini one just because of space. They had a few different ones I just got this at Home Depot actually. There was different colored flowers, and this is the one I went for, and I think that it is just so pretty. And I'm really excited to experience growing an orchid like this for the first time. So yeah, some of the blooms are like still just opening as well. You can see that one is kind of opening. But yeah, it's going to be a learning process. I'm really glad that I picked it up though. It's just so cute. And then there are a few things happening inside the Millsbow Tall. Probably the thing I'm most excited about is this new leaf on my Anthurium Magnificum Dark Mama hybrid because it is just massive. Last month I think I was showing you guys the last leaf that it gave me, which is tucked back there, which was, I thought that was huge, but this one is honestly like double the size. It is massive and it still isn't completely hardened yet. So yeah, I am just so impressed with that, and it's really giving me a lot of like pink veining, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. It came in like perfectly, so I've just been thrilled about that. We also have a new leaf on my Philodendron gigas right here, which is really nice, and also new growth coming in on my Piper crocatum. So things are definitely like waking up, which is really nice. I don't think that there's anything else too crazy going on in here. Let me see. No, I don't think so. There is a new leaf coming in on my Philodendron mame right there, so I'm just keeping an eye on that one unfurling as well. I'm really excited to see that. I can see that it has spider mites again. Oh my gosh, it's such a troublesome plant, honestly. And my variegated Maranta is doing really well also. Look at all the new leaves coming in. So satisfying. These completely white ones too. Like, wow. Also, a new leaf starting on my Crystal Mag Luxuriance hybrid. Look at that little cutie right there. Oh my goodness, it's always so exciting when anthuriums put out new leaves. Feels like a big deal. So I think that that is about it. I'm in my house coat now because my house is freezing and I film with the heat off. So I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing all of the updates on my plants and seeing my new plants as well. Again, thank you so much to Soultech for sponsoring this video, and if you're wanting to check them out, don't forget to click the link down below and use my code WILDFERN for 15% off. Alright, thank you guys so much. Leave me a comment. I would love to chat with you. Also, if you could give this video a thumbs up, I would appreciate that so much. Alright, I will talk to you guys later. See you in the next one. Bye!
Try